Hello and welcome to the Winning Post powered by the Serum Institute of India. I'm Chaiti Narula. A lot of horse racing action on the show today, but more importantly, the 130 years completion of the Royal Western India Turf Club, a rendezvous with Vice Srinath, and of course, international horse racing action. Let's take a quick look at the headlines on the show today. On the show this week, we pay a tribute to the 130 years completion of the Mahalakshmi Racecourse. Next up, we catch up with Jockey Vice Srinath, who is the man of the moment, who won the McDowell Signature Indian Derby 2014 and the Indian Turf Invitation Cup 2014, partnering Alan Dare in the saddle.
I must say I've been damn lucky that way, and getting a chance ride on a horse like this was, how can I say, a dream come true.
And finally, we take a flight straight to Hong Kong and get you all the action from the Hong Kong Derby 2004.
It's Designs on Rome, and able friend fighting it out. Designs on Rome with his head in front. He's edging away, and Designs on Rome wins the Derby by a length.
The thriving of a sport and an institution that really governs it is marked by small or mammoth landmarks. One such sport is horse racing, and one such institution is the Royal Western India Turf Club. This year, the Mahalakshmi Racecourse completes 130 years. Since 1883 to 2014, it's been a long journey rather. Let's pay a tribute to the 130 years completion of the Mahalakshmi Racecourse. (1883), the year when it all began. 2014, the year as it stands today, marking the 130 years milestone. The journey till date has been iconic. You know that a sport and its governing body is thriving and rich when a mammoth landmark is arrived at. 130 years is an important milestone, and the Royal Western India Turf Club can take pride of governing this royal sport of horse racing judiciously. It was not at all smooth sailing, or in racing terms, rhythmic canter, all the way for the RWITC. When the British were sent packing back, there were those who thought that racing should be banned. However, the equine lovers of those times were determined to ensure that the show must go on. A competent representation pressed for a discussion with the then Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru and convinced him that racing is competitive, entertaining, and a sport of skill. The men who pulled it off deserve a standing ovation. Since the British had their headquarters at Calcutta, the Royal Calcutta Turf Club was the hub of Indian racing. The Mahalakshmi Racecourse came into being in the year 1883.
Well, we stumbled upon this from our archives that racing moved to Mahalakshmi in 1883. We realized this sometime towards the end of the Pune season. And then we thought that it's something worth celebrating. The club doesn't really have that much to celebrate. And then we sat with all our creative agencies, our partners, our media team, and said we should do something special. The club had a great contributor in Sir Khushru Wadia, who apparently had visited the Melbourne Racecourse and wanted to replicate something of that at Mahalakshmi. He gave a handsome donation to build the grandstands. And that's when the racecourse, this 226 acre, was converted into what we see today. We've tried to emphasize over the last few years the non-racing aspect. As you know, the 226 acre is a very prime piece of real estate in the heart of Mumbai. We've been privileged to manage it and run it. It is largely seen as an elitist club, an elitist sport, which it is not. And therefore, we have tried to open our doors to the city. As you know, there are thousands of people who use the space weekly for walking, jogging. We've added to that by including sport for young kids, meditation, yoga, pranic healing, photographers come. So we've used the space for a number of social causes. We've had several race days with several charitable associations, music, heritage, culture. We really haven't stopped virtually at anything. And this is going to grow as the season goes along.
Well, it means a lot because I was virtually born here. I've been at this racecourse since I was a 3-year-old kid riding horses. So the first time I probably sat on a horse was then in 1950 or something. So it means very much to me. I can't speak much beyond my lifetime, but I have been through some very nice times, like the Shah of Iran who visited our country, then the Queen Elizabeth, current Queen of England. And it has very momentous memories. I mean, there are a lot of memories with me. I mean, Prince Charles was here earlier, last year. So I think there's a great affinity to the racecourse, the city of Bombay, Mumbai now, and what it is today. It's really very iconic, and I hope it carries on forever.
Coming into being of racing is with the British. That goes without saying. But then in Bombay, the Parsis and the Maharajas mainly, and the elite of Bombay obviously were crazy followers of the British and racing. And so racing came in, continued. And this very racecourse has been the pride and the brainchild to some extent of Sir Khusru Wadia, who in those days had given the grand sum of 40 lakhs of rupees interest-free to the club. But not only that, he went all the way by steamer in those days to Australia, to Melbourne, to the Flemington racetrack, picked up the design and came back over here and got the design implemented. And that's the great achievement, and Mahalakshmi has been there for the pride of India as far as racecourses are concerned. And not only that, pre-independence, at the wartime, this track, the Mahalakshmi track over here, was declared as the second best track in the world.
Philanthropist Sir Khusru Wadia donated 225 acres of land to build this landmark that stands out today in the city of Mumbai. The 2,400 meters racetrack is perhaps touted to be the best in the country for horse racing, the sport of kings. The Royal Western India Turf Club that races from November to April in the Mumbai centre is home to the top 5 Indian classics. The Mahalakshmi Racecourse was created out of a marshy land known as the Mahalakshmi Flats. Built in 1883 and modelled on the Caulfield Racecourse in Melbourne, it is spread over land facing the sea.
Well, Sir Khusru Wadia, the brother of Sir Nes Wadia. Sir Nes Wadia formed Bombay Dyeing, and Khusru Wadia was known as the chronic philanthropist. He built the bags also. But Khusru Wadia said that Mahalakshmi was a marshland. So the 225 acres, he wanted to turn it into a beautiful racecourse. So he took the architects to Melbourne, and he came back here. He reclaimed the land, and then he rebuilt the Mahalakshmi Racecourse exactly on the lines of the Melbourne Racecourse. So that, I think, is a visionary, a philanthropist, and a great man, because he gave an interest-free loan to the racecourse to also build Mahalakshmi Racecourse. So that was a great, great man.
For what we are seeing is the magnificent transformation of the RWITC from being purely racing-centric to one that envelopes and is inclusive and relevant to Mumbai as one whole as it stands today, when we earmark the 130 years of a successful milestone of the Mahalakshmi Racecourse. Well, that was a tribute to the 130 years completion of the Mahalakshmi Racecourse. Indeed, a very nostalgic moment for all racegoers and the city of Mumbai itself as well. On that note, let's take a quick break right here on The Winning Post. More horse racing action follows on the other side. Thank you for staying with us on The Winning Post, powered by the Serum Institute of India, and welcome back. One jockey who has stolen the thunder quite literally this season at the Mahalakshmi Racecourse has been Srinath. He went on to win the McDowell Signature Indian Derby 2014, partnering Allendale. Went on to partner the same horse in the India Turf Invitation Cup 2014 in Hyderabad as well, bringing the laurels back home for his owners. We catch up with Srinath, the man of the moment, and get to know our racing pro better.
Srinath is the man of the moment after coming out and winning the McDowell Signature Indian Derby 2014, partnering Allendale. He went on to win the Indian Turf Invitation Cup 2014 in Hyderabad as well, partnering the same horse, of course, Allendale. Congratulations, Srinath. Let's go over your victories. Let's start off with the time when you were given the ride for Allendale.
Well, I must say I've been damn lucky that way, and getting a chance ride on a horse like this was, how can I say, a dream come true. The connections opted to put me up after the 2000 guineas because they thought I would be more suitable, preferably because more experienced, I would say. This horse, unlucky loser in the 2000 guineas, I thought if he was ridden a little more off the pace, he would do better, and I think the thinking was right.
Do you think this horse had the potential to go on to win the most prestigious race of the season?
Well, I've been a great fan of Allendale, and I've seen him race in Bangalore, and I remember asking Altamash for this ride. I said, if Sandesh doesn't ride this horse, I want to ride him in the Indian Classics, and they kept it in mind and they called me back.
What were your thoughts in the last 2 furlongs? I think a furlong away from home, you knew it that you had won the Derby.
The Indian Derby, how you say, everything went right in place, and for me, it also worked for me that Muroy and I think he hit the front too soon, I was always hopeful of catching him in the straight. And what can I say? The excellent acceleration that he showed in the straight is top class. He's the best 4-year-old in the country today.
After the Indian Derby came the Invitation Cup. In between that gap period, what were your thoughts at that point of time? How was Allendale really working? Did you think that the time was enough for him to go on to win another big race like that?
Well, you won the Indian Derby in record timing, so it's almost going to be impossible for anyone to turn the tables on you. Come 5 weeks later in the invitation, I was quietly confident. I was riding the best horse in the field. I didn't have a doubt.
What are your thoughts at that point of time now, coming on to win? What next for you in your career, really?
I've always wanted to win the Derby, and I won the invitation before. So I must say, I think it's been a full circle. I think I won most of the races that I want to.
Well, what is the kind of relationship you have, working relationship with Altamash, Neville and Gaurav?
It's been a new association for me. At the same time, it's been a pleasant learning. Every day you learn. This game is all about, you learn every day. And I'm thankful to them for giving me a chance, and I'm damn happy about the way things panned out.
Everybody deals with victory phenomenally well, which you are also at the moment. But how is it dealing with the losses for you as a sportsman?
Well, you should take your winnings and your losses in the same stride. Never be overconfident, and never get carried away with your victories. Have your feet firmly planted on the ground, I would say.
Talking about victory, does humility play a very important role for you, Srinath, considering now you've won the biggest race that you could have won in the Indian Turf?
Well, after winning the Derby, the amount of praise I received and from my own fellow colleagues, I'm really humbled, and I'm glad to know that I have so many supporters.
Let's talk about how a day in the life of Srinath really pans out. How does your normal day in the life pan out?
For me, keeping my weight down, keeping it in check is that's the biggest task. So I'm on a constant diet. I have to watch what I eat, and you have to at least keep yourself hydrated well. So I would say just sticking to one meal a day is sort of works for me, and and as the races come closer, I need to even skip that. So it's not easy. You won't believe, even if you've not eaten for a day or two, and then you're riding a horse. I don't know what it is. It's just the adrenaline in your head. You don't feel a thing. You just want to ride.
Tell me about your workout regime. Apart from riding horses and working horses, how else do you work out to keep yourself fit?
I do a lot of walking and I do a lot of running. I do cardio. I run at least thrice a week, even if I'm not racing. That keeps me fit, and keeping your weight in sort of in measure, not going overboard anytime. And this is a strict routine that I follow through the year. I can't afford to even sort of be too lax and take a week off or something, and your weight just goes out of control. So you have to watch what you eat.
Mental well-being for a professional like you is also thoroughly important apart from physical well-being.
That's true. If you're dejected or disappointed, and it's very hard to keep yourself going. You have to be motivated, you have to stay positive, and think you should be the most optimistic person, I think.
Let's get inside your state of mind. What was your state of mind really before you took on to running the Indian Derby this year. What did you enter with when you walked into the gates there with Allendale?
To me, when I rode Allendale this time, I thought this is my best chance of winning this race. I've never had a ride like this ever, coming into a big race like this. And all I thought was to stay positive and think on my feet. I didn't have any specific instructions. For me, it was all about relaxing him and getting the trip. If I stayed the mile and a half, I knew I would be there in the end. And all credit goes to the horse. Beautiful, beautiful horse.
Jockey by Srinath on the winning post. We will continue to remain in conversation with this jockey and get to know him better on the other side of this break as well. Time now for a quick break on the winning post. We see you on the other side. Don't go anywhere. Thank you for staying with us on the winning post, powered by the Serum Institute of India, and welcome back. We were in conversation with the jockey who won the Indian Derby and the India Turf Invitation Cup 2014 as well, by Srinath, and we are getting to know him better. Let's continue with that. Does any credit also go to the woman behind your success as well, your wife?
Yes, a lot. She has to put up with a lot of, how you say, it's the life of a jockey is not easy. You're constantly traveling. And yes, I don't share too much about my professional happenings with her, but yeah, she and I make a good combination.
What about your daughter now? How does she contribute to your life in general?
Well, my little daughter is called Faye, and she's only turned 2 now. So she knows her father's a jockey though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she figures it out, and she loves horses. Let's see. I'm not sure if she's going to take up riding. Yeah, not horse racing, but yeah, she will take up horse riding for sure.
Okay, so what is the kind of relationship you share with your father? Your father was a horseman. What are your takeaways from your?
Well, my father has been my guiding light, and if I've turned out to be a decent rider, I would say I've inherited his genes, and that's what makes a rider, I guess. He's been my dad has been my how you say, my biggest critic as well. He would point out my mistakes on when I lose, and he wouldn't praise me too much when I won. He would always keep me grounded on my feet and made me think every time I didn't ride a good race or came back with every time I came back with a question or two, he would have something to help me get over it.
Now, what do you do apart from racing? We know you work really hard. You've proven how hard you work through your achievements as well. What do you do? What is your Srinath's time out look like? Once a week, once a month?
Well, I'm looking forward to this break now after this season, and I intend to play a lot of golf, catch up on my pastime, my hobby, relax. I love biking, which I'm going to do that now. I'm just going to chill. I'm going to take some time off from racing.
You mentioned golf. When did you take on to that game?
I've been playing over the years, but since I haven't really played a bit now for a year or two. But yeah, I'm going to actively take it up now.
What's your handicap really?
Well, I'm around 14 now.
And where do you really end up playing golf generally?
There's a golf course right behind where I stay in Bangalore. It's called Bangalore Golf Club. So I'm a member there. That's my home club, yeah. So I play a lot there.
So apart from golf, apart from horse racing, we've spoken about sports. Do you go for movies often? Do you like go watching the theatre? Do you party a little bit as well?
Yeah, I'm a total movie buff. I love watching movies. I have a huge collection of them, and yeah, I haven't been actually too much to the theatres most recently, but I will do a lot of catching up on them now.
Practice makes a man perfect. Do you think that's what's led to you becoming the perfect jockey?
Well, I won't call myself a perfect jockey, but I do have a calm temperament, and that works in a race. You should also be able to think, be spontaneous, and think as the race goes on. And I think if you can use a little bit of common sense, you'll be okay.
What is your message to the youngsters out there who are planning to take on being jockeys, professional jockeys, while at it as a career option? Do you think it's a viable career opportunity for most?
It is a a good alternative career, but it's of course not easy. This is a lot of hard work and a lot of determination, and most importantly, the will to win. You can be a rider, but to be a good horseman, it's another step. You definitely pass on any kind of bad vibe to the horse. So when you approach a horse, it's always, when you get on a horse, the horse itself, the horse straight away knows who's on the saddle. If you have bad vibes, if you have any negativity, the horse can feel it straight away. The moment you sit on the horse, or the moment you gather the reins, and the horse straight away gets that feeling and uneasiness or whatever. You have to be calm, and the horse should realize that I'm in safe hands.
Well, as a person, if I'm watching the horses in the paddock, what are the clues that I need to watch out for to know that the horse is in good form today?
Well, you always have to study the previous form of a horse, but when you see a horse in the paddock, you always look for the horse to be well turned out. You need your horse to be also well relaxed, not sweating up, or not uneasy. When you have an uneasy horse and you look in the paddock, and they are feeling uneasy, and believe me, they are not going to actually perform up to their merit that day.
How important is strategizing for a jockey in the entire gamut of?
Well, you can strategize, you can have a plan and everything, but as soon as the gates open, it all goes out of the window. So you have to think on your feet, you have to think, be in the moment, you have to be spontaneous, you have to you know how you want to ride, you know where you want to sit, but you never know what's going to happen in the race. You never know if you're going to get a good break, you never know if you're going to get jostled or bumped. So you should always try and be calm and be in a sensible, proper position, and not too far away from the pace. And judging the pace of a race is the most important.
Any life mantra that you follow in life that helps you become so successful?
I would say just be positive, stay focused.
Well, that was by Srinath, the Indian Derby winner. Staying with the Derbies, let's take a flight straight to Hong Kong and take a look at the Hong Kong Derby 2014.
The Hong Kong Derby is one of Hong Kong's most prestigious horse races and has been held annually in March since 1873. With approximately $2 million as the purse, some of Hong Kong's very best 4-year-olds were in the lineup this year. Sponsored by Mercedes-Benz for the first time in 2004, this race is now sponsored by BMW, and the lineup in 2014 included two worthy rivals in Designs on Rome, ridden by Sydney-based jockey Tommy Berry, and his stablemate Able Friend, who was ridden by the former Singapore champion Joe Moreira. Both were saddled by John Moore, who had successfully raided Singapore last year with Military Affair, and a recent clash of the two in the Classic Cup set the stage for another great matchup.
We're set now. The BMW 2014 Derby, they're off. All You Wish missed the start. He's going to settle last. Dibiani being snagged back, and Beauty Flame and Bullish Boy, the two Tony Cruz runners, got the best of the start, and Beauty Flame's got great speed across to the rails. All You Wish and Able Friend will ride for luck into the straight, where Beauty Flame is the leader. From Flame Hero in second, Mr. Jockey runs on. Dibiani and Designs on Rome coming down the outside, and Able Friend's got a split. This is what we've been waiting for. Designs on Rome, Dibiani the outside, Able Friend's bursting up the rails. It's Designs on Rome and Able Friend fighting it out. Designs on Rome with his head in front, he's edging away, and Designs on Rome wins the Derby by a length.
With the two favourites happy to sit off the pace, Moreira gave Able Friend a copybook run home, and the field opened up perfectly for him up the straight. However, superior stamina found Designs on Rome finishing on stronger in what turned out to be a sensational contest. Wade Burridge took a close look at the race as it panned out.
Now we're here talking about Designs on Rome's, and look guys, anyone who got to see that Hong Kong Derby last week, it was a clash of the titans. Able Friend and also Designs on Rome have battled out for the last 3 times, finishing first and second in all the 3 races in Hong Kong in the Derby series. Designs on Rome has had the better of Able Friend over the longer journey. Designs on Rome is a horse that's by Holy Roman Emperor. Holy Roman Emperor is an Irish-based stone who did serve a bit of time in Australia as well, but Holy Roman Emperor has done his best work, breeding in the Northern Hemisphere. Hong Kong has been a happy hunting ground for sons of Holy Roman Emperor, and Designs of Rome would probably be his best performed son there. Tommy Berry, who rode Designs of Rome, has commented he's probably one of the best horses he's ever ridden, especially over 1,600 metres and above trip. Abel Friend was a champion, is by a champion, the champion sire in Sharmadale, who is very famous for a gingerbread man in Singapore. Sharmadale is also a Northern Hemisphere side that shuttles for Dali from the Northern Hemisphere into Australia as well. Abel Friend is also out of the mother Ponte Piccolo, who was good enough to win at group level in Australia, and stands at the farm at Turunga Farm in Australia. All in all, I think we're going to see a lot more of Designs of Rome and also Abel Friend in Hong Kong. And if we get to see him in Singapore at the international meet come May, I think everyone should get down to Singapore and see these two horses clash, because it'll be one for the ages and one for the record books in time.
With 5 horses from Europe in the race, including a Royal Ascot winner, it is evident that the first 2 will target Group 1 races later on in the year. Abel Friend will possibly go on to the Champions Mile in May, while Designs in Rome will run in the QE2 in Hong Kong on the 27th of April before a possible raid on the Singapore Airlines International Cup.
Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have on this weekend's episode of The Winning Post, powered by the Serum Institute of India. Remember, if you've missed something or want to watch something again, log on to our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/winningpostracing, or follow @Mohit Lalwani on Twitter for regular horse racing updates. We're also on Facebook. Until the team Winning Post sees you next week again, may the horse be with you.